First Sight, season 14, episode 4. This is for Katina and Olajuwon. Yo, I love this couple. They my number one. They are my number one. When I first started off, I didn't know about them. They was slowly moving up the ranks. But let me tell you, today, they are my number one. I love watching these two. This episode had a lot of fighting going on in it, and you're going to see it in all my different videos. But the one thing I liked about Olajuwon and Katina, they might have been fighting, but they wasn't fighting each other. They was locked up like Bonnie and Clyde. They said, you want this smoke? You can get it. We a team up in here. And I loved it because in the beginning of your marriage, the bond you need to make is with your spouse, not with nobody else, with your spouse. And you're going to see the difference between Katina Olajuwon and Michael and Jasmina when I get to their video. So you're going to need to pop over there when I upload that one. But let me tell you, I am loving this couple. So it ends with a clip after the wedding, and Katina's all giddy and happy, and she's like, "Ooh, I got a husband. I guess I'm gonna have to report about where my whereabouts are." You sure are, Katina. Husbands don't want. You're gonna have to check in at least every 3 to 4 hours. So they're in the bedroom, and Olajuwon is, "Hurry up, baby, come on and get in this bed. Come on and get in the bed." You know what I like about these two? They're very playful with each other. Very, very playful. And I like that about them. So anyway, they go to bed. I don't think no hanky-panky happened. They kiss and everything. They wake up, and Olajuwon's like, "Oh, yeah, I'm so happy you ain't got no stinky breath." That was funny. And Katina laughed at it too. Katina got him back because she was like, "Yeah, but you're going to have to work on your cuddle game." And he admitted he ain't cuddled in 2 years. And I'm going to get to Olajuwon too because I'm starting to learn a little bit more about Olajuwon, and I'm going to recategorize him. So Olajuwon starts telling the story that, he doesn't really consider himself a cheater because he never really committed to any woman. And what he's saying is he was never a cheater. He just never settled down. He was running the streets. He was running through women. And you know what? I'm starting to put this a little bit more in perspective because it sounds like he was an ex-football player or a ball player out of college or something. And I went to a big university, and I went to a university that had a really well-known football team. And let me tell you something. I'm starting now to see what Olajuwon was. He was definitely out here in these streets, running the streets. But it sounds like he never committed to one girl because he starts talking about he has not cuddled in 2 years. That means he never really had a girlfriend that he probably even could cheat on because they probably didn't even need to do but spend the night. They had to get up and do the walk of shame. He probably didn't let them sleep over. They had to get up at 7 a.m. and keep it moving. And then Katina goes on and admit that's okay because you know what, I did have my F buddies too. And Olajuwon really didn't want to hear, but he said, "You know what, hey, no shame in the game. I really can't talk about you. One, I'm already married to you. Two is I know I got a pass." I like that they both listen to each other, and I know that they're probably still, their antennas are up because they know, I might be sleeping with my same person. Like I told you, this is the same season of sameness, and we're going to see if it helps them or hurts them. And so now what we're going to see about, does the fact that Katina knows who Olajuwon is and Olajuwon knows who Katina is, does it bring out insecurities in the both of them? Because now they're dealing with people who they know in the past. I've seen this before. So anyway, they go to the part where they're meeting the parents, and Katina gets to meet Olajuwon's mom, and his mom is there, and she's really nice and pleasant. And so Katina reveals to the mom that, Olajuwon was honest and told her about his past. And her mother was like, "Well, at least he told you that, at least he told you and was honest about it." She said, yeah, she was happy that he was honest about it. And Katina asked her, "Do you think, he's really ready to settle down?" And her mother was like, "Yeah, I really do think, because he keeps talking about he wants a family, he wants to settle down." And you know what? I believe the mother. I do believe Olajuwon wants to settle down and have a family. I'm all in with him now. I believe the story. So mom gives Katina a real cute gift. It's like a t-shirt that says, cheerleader, I'm your biggest fan or whatever, because her mom talked about how she cheered Olajuwon on the sidelines in his sports her whole life. And she's basically said, "I'm turning over the cheerleader job to you now that you're the wife." And I thought that was a really cute gesture. Next, Olajuwon has to meet Katina's friends and family. So he ends up meeting with a friend. I don't know if it was a sister, but I know the guy who stood out the most was a friend. And so he's meeting them, and you know what? The man went in on Olajuwon. And he was basically saying, "You know what are you here for?" Basically what the guy was saying was, "You're a good looking guy. and you probably can get a lot of women out here. So what makes you come on a show like this? You obviously not that desperate for a woman. So what the friend obviously jumped to was that you must be on here for something nefarious. You must not be coming on here being really legit, because this isn't a matter of you not being finding a woman. So I think the friend looked at Olajuwon, saw the tats, probably knew he was an ex-playboy, all these things, and said, you are on here for evil and bad, because I can't imagine why you would want to be on here now. And he's saying basically a tiger can't change his stripes. But let me tell you something. Olajuwon wasn't hearing it, and he basically said after he told Olajuwon, he didn't care, because he basically said, if a grown man don't like me, I'm not going to try to convince him to like me. But let me tell you what else was going on there. I don't know about this guy of Katina's, the guy that was there, this male friend. And let me tell you something. Every husband, every boyfriend, everyone is going to be suspicious of a male friend. I don't know if this man was back for the other team. I don't know that part. That might have been good to know, because if he isn't, if he's a heterosexual man and he's hanging around Olajuwon's wife, let me tell you, Olajuwon is looking at him at the side eye too. He's probably wondering, why are you batting so hard for my girl? What's up? Did you want to get chosen and you didn't get chosen? Let me tell you, every man thinks about it. That's why men don't like them girls, because you know what they call them? They call them D in the glass, break in case of emergency. There's always guys waiting in the wing that if the girl gave him a shot, the guy would take the shot. Now, I don't know if this friend was that, but I'm quite sure it ran through Olajuwon's mind, because Olajuwon knows Olajuwon was a predator out here. He was a shark out here. So you know what? He knows how to look out for those things. And while that guy was trying to vet Olajuwon, I guarantee you, Olajuwon was checking him out too to find out, who are you? So anyway, they get ready to leave to go, go to the airport or get ready to pack up and go. And they both talking about how they're going to have drinks and they're going to be hitting the club. Let me tell you something. These two are fun. They're going to really enjoy each other. Now, I talk about similarities, the fact that they both like to club and probably stay out, or at least have it a little bit in their blood. I think that's going to serve them well, because they're going to learn how to laugh and have fun together. That's what I'm hoping about these two. He's like, hey, do you know how to bachata? He's like, come on, get up. Let's do the bachata. I'll teach. He's like, I don't know that much, but I'll teach you. I love that little scene with Olajuwon. He really is a charmer, and I really liked him. I like the fact when they were leaving, he grabbed both bags. You see, I noticed everything. Katina didn't even have to lift a bag. Olajuwon took both bags. It may seem small to people, but those types of things I notice. So they go to the airport, obviously, they get on the plane, and I talked about this in the Lindsay video, but obviously some shit hit the fan on the plane. They were sitting in front of Martha Shark and Lindsay, and I guess Lindsay started talking some stuff about, you should be speaking Spanish in Puerto Rico, and Olajuwon was like, I'm gonna speak English because that's what I'm most comfortable with, and he basically told Lindsay, mind your business. Talk that stuff with your husband. Don't come over here and tell me what type of language I need to be speaking. You know what? He wasn't for all that Lindsay getting up in him and telling him what to do. Olajuwon was not having it. So anyway, after they get off the plane, Lindsay and Mark had to take a whole separate bus. So Bonnie and Clyde, Katina and Olajuwon, Katina was like, oh no, she don't need to get on this bus. She don't need to get on this bus. She was like, she was talking to my husband. Let me tell you something. These two locked up. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. They checked Lindsay and they told her, back up. You better back up. I don't know who you pull this kind of stuff with, but you pulling it with the wrong two, and we're not having it. And let me tell you, Katina said, you know what? She don't want to be around Lindsay. She said Lindsay may need to keep her distance from her at all times. And I'm with you, Katina. Stay away from me. Then once they get to the hotel, all the couples have a little rendezvous down below. Katina's like, the only thing we missing is some drinks. And right on cue, here come them drinks. And the pina coladas come out. And so they're still talking about the whole van situation, or the plane situation and the van situation. And Olajuwon is like, you know what? He talks to Martha Shark. Martha Shark comes down. They hug it out. Two men hug it out and say, hey, you know what? Let's just squash this. She doesn't need to apologize to me. Let bygones be bygones. They just want to get on a good foot. They want to have a good time. We're all sisters and brothers. And Katina like, she ain't my sister. Katina is funny. So Olajuwon was telling Katina, because he was like, I've never seen this is the first time I've seen you upset. And he goes, now I get to see you. And Olajuwon said, that wasn't nothing. You really haven't seen how I can get up in here. So let me tell you, Olajuwon is telling me he got different gears. And that obviously was not geared level 10. I don't know what level it was, but he's telling you I can get up a whole lot higher than that. But he also said he was happy that, Katina took up for him, and he was like, I'm happy to see that you rocking with me like that there's some love up in here. And I think it made both of them feel really comfortable and really good about each other. So later on, back in the room that evening, Katina's like, how you think things are going so far? And, Olajuwon hints that he's ready. He hopes that Katina opens up to him more. And Katina's like, what? What you talking about open up? I'm not no closed off walls or anything. He's like, yeah, well, I can just tell you holding back. Well, heck yeah, she's holding back, Olajuwon, because Katina's been out here and she's, taking some of the blows of the guys like you. So here you are with a wife where she was a victim of guys like you, kind of doing different things out here. So yeah, she's going to take it cautiously. Plus she knows your background. Absolutely, she's going to be cautious in the beginning. But that's your job, Olajuwon. That's your job to win her over. That's your job. Now you are going to have to make up. You talk about, you shouldn't bring that into a relationship. Well, you know what? All them women you kind of went through, they going to bring it into their relationships too. Now, yeah, does Katina need to let you in and kind of do her part into trying to let the walls down? Absolutely. But for you to believe there's not going to be no walls when she's laying next to the very man that was out here terrorizing women, please, what do you expect? You got some work to do, Olajuwon. I may be starting to warm up to you, but don't think this is going to be easy. You got a lot of years to make up for, and you're going to start with your wife. So keep up all this stuff you doing. I understand you want all of her. You want to see her whole heart. But like you said before, karma, you got your karma because you're going to have to work here.